Hey YouTube, welcome back to Cassandra's Kitchen, where I eat to live and I live to eat. Today I'm going to be making a Chipotle Bowl. Cassandra's variation of Chipotle's Veggie Bowls. That's what I'm going to be making today. It's going to be great. It's high alkaline. So if you're interested in seeing how I make this vegan veggie bowl, stay tuned and I'll show you. Alright guys, so there's a few steps to this bowl. So I want to take you step by step how I build my bowl, what I'm going to use for my bowl. Just like when you go through the Chipotle line, you're in line, you ask for if you want it in a bowl or wrap. Of course, we're going to do the bowl. And then the first thing they ask you want brown or white rice. Of course, we're not using either of those because they're not high alkaline. But what we're going to use is wild rice. I love wild rice. We're going to get our wild rice on. And we're also going to go ahead and get some kamut on. The kamut is going to be for our corn salsa. So they have the great corn salsa. If you want to use corn, use corn. But everything else I put in this is going to be the same as they would have at the Chipotle pretty much. But we're using kamut instead of corn because the kamut is high alkaline. Also, it has a great texture like corn. I don't know if you ever had kamut, but in my mind, it's a great, it doesn't remind me as much as rice as it looks like rice, but it reminds me with the texture of the grain, more like a corn kernel. So we're going to be putting some kamut on because we're going to use this for our salsa, the corn salsa that they have. We're just going to do a kamut salsa in replace to that. Also, for the next thing that they ask you is, what beans do you want? You want black or brown beans? I love them both. But for my video, I'm going to be using the garbanzo beans. I'm going to be using chickpeas. And I'm going to season them. I'm going to use canned chickpeas. I'm going to show you that as well. But before, I just wanted to get these two things on because they take the longest to cook. So we're going to do the wild rice. I'm going to be cooking my wild rice in my rice cooker. You can't go wrong with that. I'm going to season my rice with, I like to flavor my rice. You don't have to flavor your rice if you don't want to, but I'm going to put a little cilantro in mine. I'm going to put a little bit of Chipotle seasoning by Mrs. Dash and a little bit of salt. So that'll get that flavored going in my rice. With the kamut, I'm just going to put this on the stove. I'm not going to season it with anything, because I'm going to use this kamut to, when I start making my corn salsa or my kamut salsa, that's going to be seasoned there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get these two things on. So go get your rice. If you're going to use your white rice, your brown rice, that's fine. But I'm using this because I want to keep this dish high alkaline. Get your rice. If you're going to use your corn, get your corn because we're going to be making our salsa here shortly. Have your corn prepared. If not, if you want to try my variation of it using the kamut, you won't be disappointed. Get your kamut on so they can cook because these are going to take the longest. And once I put these on, we're going to come back and start making our Pico De Gallo and our guacamole. Have those in the fridge ready to go. So we're building this bowl from the ground up. So get ready to have a great veggie bowl. All right, so what we're going to make now is our Pico De Gallo. And, Pico De Gallo is your basic onion. So I have a yellow onion, some vine tomatoes, and I have some cilantro, fresh cilantro here, and a little lime. So that's all we're going to use for our pico. So what you want to do is dice up some onions. And this is a large onion cut in half. So, either a medium onion or a half of a large, depending on how many onions you like in yours. I tend to like a lot of onions, but I figure instead of cutting up another onion, just to take half of it, this would be plenty. So all I'm going to do is just dice these down. Try to make somewhat small cuts here. And if you have a food processor, this may be a little bit easier just to get your onions diced. So there's our onions. We're going to get those in our bowl. That was one large half onion, a half of a large onion, and it made plenty. So But I'm making a lot of the pico because we love Pico De Gallo. It doesn't go to waste in our home. So that's that. See, those are kind of small dices. Okay, and then what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing with our tomatoes. These have been washed. Take these off the vine. And actually, I missed a sticker on this one. Okay, missed that one. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is just dice our tomatoes down also. And then I'll just slice them down. Of course, my tomatoes are not perfect, but I just cut around that core. Discard that, and those are my pieces, okay? So I do that over here. I'll cut this little piece off that had that sticker stuck. Okay. Real simple to make, but just if you make your own pico instead of getting stuff already pre-made. It's fresh, it tastes good. And you know what's in it. You know how long it's been sitting. So just cut around that core. We don't want to waste none of our tomato. Okay. Let me see what we have here, because I may not need all of those. I think I may just do that one small tomato. Because you want to keep your ratio kind of even also. So. Let's see. I think that's going to be plenty good. Okay, yeah. All right, so now we're going to get in here. We're going to get some of our cilantro. I have some cilantro washed here. We just want to kind of dice up some of this to get in there. We'll use some of that for our salsa, our Kamut Salsa as well. We're just going to chop this down a little more. Have smaller pieces in there. And cilantro, I just love this. It brings so much flavor to your dish. Okay, so that's finely chopped there, and we're going to get that in our bowl. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add some lime juice. Can't have that without some lime. I usually squeeze a whole half a lime in there. And I like to just add a little pink salt, just to sprinkle a little salt. Give this a good mix here. Make sure you get your cilantro mixed in there really well. Could have used a little bit bigger bowl, but trying to save room in my refrigerator. Oh yeah, this looks so good already. So that's it. Quick, easy Pico De Gallo. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna let me taste it first. Yes, that lime those onions. I'm gonna put another tomato in here just because I like the tomatoes. And I want to just put one more tomato. I think my first mine was right. I had 3, then I got 4 out, so I should have just kept the 3. And that's it on the pico, guys. Quick and easy. I'm gonna mix this up and we're gonna get this in the refrigerator. Yeah. Just that little bit of extra tomato in here made a difference. Like I said, if you want more cilantro, you can put more cilantro in there. We're gonna have quite a bit of cilantro in this dish too because we're putting it in our Kamut Salsa. So I don't need to overpower it in here, because we're gonna have that also in another one of our dishes. So that's all you do with the sauce, with the pico. I'm gonna go ahead and get this stored in the refrigerator, let that chill, so it'll be ready when we start building our bowl. All right, so we are rocking and rolling here. So next thing we're gonna make is our guacamole. Can't have a Chipotle bowl without guacamole. So we're gonna get these seeds out of here and retain one of the seeds. Don't throw all your seeds out, because my daughter taught me a trick, because my grandson loves avocado, but he may not eat it all. So just keep one of the actual seeds and put that in the middle of your avocado or your guacamole, and it won't turn brown. Oh, this one's not as right. Okay, move along. So we'll save this seed. Nice big seed. Put that to the side. And I had a half here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this one. That was in my fridge. Okay, so we're just gonna get all this scooped out of here. Guacamole is so easy to make, and it just transitions any dish, or make just a dip. Make sure you get all that out of there. Okay, and it's best to have them good and ripe. And you know, if you get them, like I get mine from Sam's Club a lot, so they're not always ripe. And that's okay, because if you leave them sitting out of the refrigerator for a couple of days, they will ripen right up. So, because I seem to get them a good price when I get them from Sam's, because I get more in the bag. But if I go to Sprouts, usually I can get the big ones like these, 3 for $5, which that's okay. But I think I tend to get a better bargain if I get them from Sam's Club, because they also have them in that large size. So, yes, I'm making a lot of guacamole, because everybody loves guacamole in my family here, except for my granddaughter. She's not a big guacamole person, and that's okay. Because when we used to go to Chipotle, I'm like, yeah, get guacamole and just give it to me or your mom. We'll eat it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is just kind of get these smashed down. So I'm just going to use a potato smasher. Potato masher. Whatever you want to call it. Works wonders. Or you don't have one of these, use a fork. Forks work just as well. And I like mine to be having some chunk to it. That's why I don't like using my food processor to blend it down, because I don't want it too smooth. Like I have a little texture in there. So, y'all, I smell that rice going. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Those seasonings in there, it's gonna taste good too. Okay, this is real simple. You can kind of do what you want to do with your guacamole. Like, sometimes I'm creative. I'll put a little lime, some fresh jalapenos in there, a little salt and pepper to taste. Love it. It just depends on what I'm pairing it with. And so, because I want a little spice in my life right now, and I'm going to squeeze just a tad bit of lime juice. I don't want that much lime juice in here, because I got lime going in my other stuff. So I just used the rest of that half a lime that I squeezed in my pico. I just put the rest of that in there. So not much at all. I'm going to sprinkle just a little sprinkle of salt. Not much of that. But what gives my guacamole a good kick for this dish, you guys have seen me use this for my chili. Y'all know I got the best vegan chili out there. If you haven't seen the video, go check it out. If you haven't tried it, definitely try it. Because the fall is coming, I'm telling you. It's so good, y'all. And I'm not even playing. And it's like award-winning good. Just put it like that. It's good. So, but anywho, moving on. So, it's the Simple Truth Organic Jalapeno Chili Powder. Oh my gosh, y'all. This stuff is so good. I only see it at Kroger because it's the Simple Truth brand. That's one of their lines. But if you can find it in another brand, I'm sure it's great. But this right here, this stuff is fire. It's so not fire as far as the hotness, which it is spicy, but it's good. So I am going to put some of that. A few sprinkles in there. Probably it's about a teaspoon that I got down in there. Y'all, this stuff makes I ain't even trying to play with y'all. It is so good. If you like a little heat. Like I like cayenne pepper, but this right here kicks the cayenne pepper out the way. Like for real. So, but look at this, y'all. Quick, simple guacamole. Y'all know I gotta give it a little taste. Sorry. That is good, but you know what? I think I can use just another little hint of this. Just another little hint of that. Maybe another little pinch of salt. And that's gonna set this right. Okay. Yes. So I say taste as you go. Season your foods to your likings because everybody's taste buds are different. And okay. Alrighty. And then what I do, take the seed, push it right down there, and it won't brown. It stores very well. And don't y'all be laughing at my top, y'all. My Pyrex top had broke, but I love this bowl. So we're gonna make it do what it do until I get a new one. Okay, so that's that. Make sure there's no water or anything on here. And we're just gonna get this in the refrigerator now. And then we're going to start working on our beans. All right, so next thing we're gonna work on our beans. And as mentioned, I'm using canned beans today. These are the Simple Truth Organic garbanzo beans. So I'm using those. Again, if you want to use your pinto bean, your black bean, your mixed tri-bean, whatever bean you want to use is fine. But like I said, I'm trying to keep my dish high alkaline. So I'm using the garbanzo beans. So what I've done, I rinsed off a couple cans of beans because we're going to be making 4 or 5 bowls. So we want plenty of beans. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of boil these on the stove a little bit, just kind of simmer them on the stove, just to kind of infuse some flavor down into our beans. I'm going to use some veggie broth instead of water. You can use water, that's fine. But just to add a little more flavor to these, because you know they're not that flavorful. I'm just going to put just a little bit of my broth down in here. Just enough to let them simmer. I'll probably use a little more. But I'm going to season these with some spike seasoning. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in here. I love garlic. It'd be great to just cut up some fresh garlic down in here as well if you want to go that route. I'm trying to keep it simple. This is, I'm going to put just a little pinch of some cayenne pepper in there. And I'm going to put just a little pinch of my taco seasoning in here. Oh, that went on my nose. Okay. And like I said, we're just gonna stir this in here. I didn't put a lot of water, so I didn't even cover the beans in water because I don't want to do that. I just want to have enough down in here to let them simmer. Ooh, that pepper went up mine. You got inside of me. Okay, and then I may just put just a little hair more of the veggie broth. Just to make it, it's kind of not covering them, but it's coating the bottom really well. That way it'll cook and kind of simmer, just to let some of those flavors get in there. And I just want to taste my broth. Okay. Has flavor. Just when we pour this over our bowl, it'll be good. Maybe just another little hair. These got to cook for a minute. So, and I'm just going to put these on and let these simmer until the rest of our stuff gets ready. And as you can see down in the bowl, it's not filled up. Well, can't see if I'm tilting it, but it's not filled up, so you can still see the beans. I'm going to put these on my stove and let these cook on medium, between medium and medium high, and just let them go. And once our other stuff is done, our beans will be ready. So that's that. Okay, next thing we're gonna do. Let me get this put up. The next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna cook our veggies. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but the peppers and onions from Chipotle, that makes my bowl everything, you know? And it's like you always go and it's like, they're always gotta cook more veggies. So I'm always letting people go before me because I'm like, I need more veggies. I love the peppers and onions, so that's what we're gonna work on next. I have them all cut up. We're just gonna saute them down. Simple saute on the stove of our veggies and onions, and that'll be the other portion of our bowl ready. All right, so for our veggies, I'm going to be using just a little bit of avocado oil so they don't stick. Not a tremendous amount of oil there. And look at this array of veggies. We have some yellow onions, slivered onions. We have some red, yellow, and green peppers. And y'all know these cook down, so, but we've actually got quite a bit of onions and peppers here. May not need this much. But like I said, they don't go to waste in my house because we eat peppers and onions on everything. So I think this is going to be plenty right here. And all I'm going to do is let these just saute down. Might as well get all these in here. They're cut up. They'll cook down. So get all those in there. Only thing I'm going to do, this is just a little salt and pepper mix that I mixed in here. Just a little salt and pepper, that's it. You don't even really have to season these because they've got so much flavor by themselves. So that's all I'm gonna do with that. But I wanted you guys to see closer. See my beans, they didn't have that much water in them. So this is just gonna let them simmer in that juice and add a little more flavor to the garbanzo beans. But we're gonna let this saute down to get, you know, really cooked down. So that's going to be a part of our veggie bowl. Our kamut is cooking over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Kamut takes a while to cook. But you want those kernels to get really big and fluffy. So our kamut is cooking really nicely. That's why I said if you're going to use kamut, get that on first. Get your rice on because these take the longest to cook. But yeah, so then we got our beans on. They're going to simmer and start to cook. We got our veggies on. We got our pico made. We have our guacamole made. So the only other thing we left to do basically for my bowl that I usually get is some lettuce. I like having some green leaf lettuce. So I'll cut up some green leaf lettuce and we'll be almost ready to make our salsa when our kamut's done. So once this is all done, we'll go ahead and finish up. All right, guys, so we are down to the last count here. So we have our kamut ready. It's nice and fluffy. It takes a while for kamut to cook. So the bag says you can soak it overnight or pre-soak it and then cook it. It may not take as long. So it took me about an hour to get my kamut to the texture or the fluffiness that I wanted it. So I'm going to leave the kamut in the pan right now. It's drained. There's no water. I'm going to leave it in here. So now what we're going to do, we're going to make our mock corn salsa. So again, this is all the ingredients that you would make for the corn salsa, except I'm using kamut to keep it high alkaline. So you're going to need a red onion, a jalapeno pepper, some more cilantro, lime, and a little bit of salt. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is slice up some jalapenos, and this is gonna go in there. Y'all, this tastes so good. Like, you don't miss the corn. But if you don't want to eat high alkaline, eat the corn, and you can make it the same way. It'll be great. It's good for the bowl. So either way, this is good. But the kamut is very a good replacement, I think. When I made it, I was like, oh wow, because I tried it the last time I did the bowl, and I said, oh, I want to do the kamut instead of the corn, and it turned out to be really good. So this is a really large jalapeno that I'm using. You may not want to use the whole jalapeno. I'm going to use the whole jalapeno because I want to, I want it to be, I just like the jalapeno. I want that full flavor in the salsa. And so just dicing these down. I do take the seeds out of my jalapenos because I don't want all the extra heat. I just like the flavor. And jalapenos always, when I'm cutting them, they always irritate my throat. So if I get to coughing, please forgive me. But they always do that. Okay, now I don't want them real thick, so I got some small pieces of jalapeno there, and we're just gonna dump that right in our kamut. I'm gonna just transfer this from this pan to another bowl, but I figured I can mix it all in here. Then we, excuse me. Then we want to get some red onion, and we want to just dice up some red onion here to get in there. Like I said, I try to make the pieces kind of small, not too large. Okay. Get these onions in here. And that's a half of a medium red onion. I'm making a mess. And then we're going to get some more cilantro in here. Take that stem out. I try to remove most of my stems and just use the leaves. So I'm just going to chop this down. I got quite a bit of cilantro here, probably about a cup. Or half a cup probably that wasn't chopped. And then once it chops down, it doesn't look like very much, but we want that taste in our salsa. Just get that chopped down real fine. And I've already cut up some some green leaf lettuce because I'm going to put lettuce on my bowl. I'm actually making it the way I would make it in the store. I don't usually get, the cream cheese or the sour cream and all that. So this is how I make my bowl when I go to Chipotle. I just kept the ingredients pretty much the same. So, and then we also want some more lime. This is going to put that whole lime in there. Or half a lime, I should say. That squeeze in there really good. Okay. And then also we want to put a little bit of salt down in our salsa. And we we just want to stir this up. Again, this is to replace the corn. If you want to use the corn, you can use the corn and make your salsa. I would say if you're going to use the corn, use take some fresh corn on the cob. Don't use canned corn. I would use a fresh corn on the cob and just cut it off the cob, because I've done it like that before too. And so, yes. Okay, let me just make sure we have enough. I'm gonna put a little bit more lime in here. And I need a little bit of cayenne pepper. And one thing I did miss that I like to put in my bowl, because I like this smoky taste, is a little bit of smoked paprika. I like the smokiness it gives the kamut. That is optional, of course. Okay. Now, let's see here. Oh yeah, this looks so good, you guys. Now, you'll be surprised what this kamut will do to any meal. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but this is the kamut. I'm actually going to put it in a different dish. Let me taste it. That's good. Might as well go ahead and get the rest of this lime juice out of here. I'm just going to throw this away, since there's wasting none. I don't like waste. Not as much as food costs nowadays. Okay. I'm just going to transfer my salsa over into this bowl. Everything's mixed together here really nice. The kamut's good and tender. My rice is done. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start building our bowl. All right. So let me get everything out. And we're going to start building our bowl like we do going down the line of Chipotle. And I'll show you what that looks like. And if you have some salsa, definitely get some salsa. I'm using the Mateos Salsa, because you can't have a bowl without salsa. So make sure you have your salsa. But come on, let's get everything. You got everything ready. We're going to start building our bowl. All right, guys, we have completed everything to build our veggie bowl. So now all we need to bring is our bowl. We have our bowl. So guys, this is amazing. So yes, it was a little bit of doing this, a little bit of doing that, but once you get it all together, it's great. So when I'm going through Chipotle, so I'm gonna build my bowl like I would normally at the restaurant. So when you first come in, they ask you want rice, what type of rice you want. So of course I have my black rice here, or not black rice, my wild rice. I'm gonna scoop my wild rice up here. I'm gonna get another spoon. One that I can scoop this out with easily. So my rice turned out really good. Again, I used wild rice. So we're gonna build our bowl. We're gonna put our rice down on the bottom here. And then I want my beans. And so I have my chickpeas. Oh my gosh, the flavor, and they got a little juice down in here. So I did my beans. So we're gonna get them beans on here. Oh yes, look at that. And I always say, yes, a lot of beans, please, a lot of rice. And so then this is the part that I love, the peppers. So you always got to have your peppers. So I'm like, can I have extra peppers, please? So they give me the peppers here. And then I do the corn salsa. But in our case, we're doing the Kamut Salsa. So we have our Kamut. And we're going to put that on there. Okay. And then we asked for our Pico De Gallo. So we're going to build our Pico De Gallo on here. Oh my gosh, y'all, this bowl is going to be massive, okay? So just know that it's going to be massive because you want all these good ingredients in here. And then, of course, I like a little lettuce on mine, so I always have them top it off with some lettuce. So I've chopped up some green leaf lettuce here. And then to top it off, we're going to put some guacamole. So we want to have our guacamole on there. And then last but not least, you got to have some salsa. So we want to get our salsa on our bowl. Look at this, guys. This is amazing. Yes, this is what you save your appetite for. You save your appetite for a Chipotle bowl. Because when I used to go to Chipotle, I would wait because I knew my bowl was going to look just like this. But it's all healthy and good ingredients. Everything has flavor from the rice to the beans to the peppers to the Kamut Salsa, which is probably new for you. But like I said, you can use the corn if you want. Make the corn salsa, the Pico De Gallo, the guacamole, and then the lettuce. So, y'all, this is amazing. I'm super excited even on right now. I can just do the taste test myself because, like, y'all, this is the bomb.com. But I'm going to have, of course, my hubby, my love, Gary Coleman. Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Can I have your assistance in the kitchen, please?
Yes, ma'am, you sure can. Once again, my favorite time again.
Your favorite time. So this is our homemade Chipotle Bowl made Cassandra's way. You love these, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we already know this is going to be 2 thumbs
It's
up.
the bomb.com.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
So, but anywho, y'all got to see him taste it. So here it is. This is our variation of the Chipotle Bowl. And it looks good. The beans and everything has flavor. Let me get you a napkin. Because y'all know when he keeps going down in there.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all something. Good God Almighty.
Y'all, this is one of his favorites. So he loves the Chipotle Bowl. I make them all the time. But.
Baby, you did that again.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, y'all, I'm telling y'all. This Chipotle Bowl right here, it's better than the place Chipotle Bowl. They bowls, you know, especially if you're a vegan or whatever. This right here is off the chain. The Kamut, it substitutes the corn, and the way that she tightened it up with all the seasonings and all the stuff that she put in here, man. I'm telling y'all, this is really good, and it's all high alkaline, and it's really good for you, So I tell you, baby, you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
I give you 3, 4 thumbs up. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
This is really good, y'all. I mean, really good. And it has no meat. That's the thing. It has no meat. And it's really, really good. It's the best ever I ever had.
Okay.
Really.
So, guys, you heard it from him.
Yes.
It's delicious. I know it's delicious. But I want you guys to try it, of course. And if you like it, you know what to do.
Oh. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up.
And share the video.
Share,
share it with your friends,
yes.
your family. Let them know, hey, check out this new Veggie Bowl.
Yes.
It's got some great ingredients. You're
Yes.
going to love it.
You won't be disappointed.
You won't be. You see, he was trying to dig back down
Yes,
in
I'm
there.
ready to go back to it.
And of course, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe.
Yes,
What are you
subscribe.
waiting on? So I'll be bringing new meals, new creative ideas at least once a week.
Yes.
I have Cassandra's tips and a dish once a week that I'll bring to my channel. So again, thank you for joining us
Yes,
here in
thanks.
Cassandra's kitchen. I hope you got your ingredients to go make this. I hope you made it right now. And if you did, I want you to hit me up. Let me know. Did you like it? What did you think about the kamut? Because that's definitely a different from the corn, the beans. Let me know what you think. I really want to hear from you. So thanks again for joining me here in Cassandra's Kitchen. Until next time, we love you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.